you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Bruins Vibes.
Bruins win the Stanley Cup. Krejci going into the corner. But, oh, there goes a pane of glass on a gigantic. Are you kidding me? That is an
The sickest Boston Bruins podcast.
Sends it in, and it's Pastrnak scores! Series winner for David Pastrnak and the Bruins.
It's gonna be sick.
Hey, episode 6, Bruins Vibes podcast. It's your guy, Brendan Sennott, here with the hockey scribe extraordinaire, Jimmy Murphy. Jimmy, Bruins lose to the Panthers 4-3 at TD Garden tonight in Brad Marchand's return. Wow. Well, what can you say about the end of that game?
Well, first
Other
of all,
than,
you go ahead.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, let's, in my opinion, let's call a spade and say, and kudos to them for not giving up and their resilience. But like, did you have any doubt when the Bruins tied it up, or and they were playing better in the third period? Did you have any doubt that the Panthers were going to win that game, or no?
Honestly, I wasn't sure at that point because the Garden had been like a convent the first 2 periods of the game, and it was definitely live. They were definitely buzzing, but man, to give up that rush at the end after tying it's just it surmises this team, and it's these
Well, what did
first.
it remind you of? What did it remind you of in terms of the Panthers Bruins? It reminded me of a lot of past playoff experiences. I mean, and
Yeah, I mean,
like I just tweeted, since 2023, and probably even way back before that, is there a guy that sticks the dagger in the heart of Bruins fans more than Carter Verhaeghe
no,
right now?
he
I mean, it's unreal.
he owns them.
Yep, he does.
Another
He
guy
does.
named Jacobs. Maybe Verhaeghe's French for Jacobs. I don't know.
Whoa, okay, we're going there right away. All right, well, hey, listen, hey, I think we have a guest, do we
We
not?
do have a special guest tonight joining
Yeah.
us from Florida Hockey Now, George Richards. Longtime friend of yours, George. Welcome to the program, my friend. Thanks for being here.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Not much, my friend. I wish we were doing this in the now shuttered, unfortunately, now long gone Porter's Pub, George. Remember when I took you?
Ah, love
was
that
a
place.
good place.
We
You
had,
ever go
we had
there, Brendan?
Porter's was awesome. We had the Fours.
Yep, we had the Fours. Both of those are gone now. You ever go to
Yep.
either of those, Brendan, back in the day? Across from TD Garden, the Fours
course,
and
yeah.
Porter's Pub? Yeah, I
Absolutely.
mean,
Yeah.
legendary.
Porter's was your joint though. That was a great.
Yeah,
that
you know,
was,
it
that
was
was that was old school, man. That
Yeah,
was,
not exactly. Old school's the word. Not to sidetrack here, Brendan, but I mean, I don't know how many times you've been there, or if you noticed when you were, because you're probably pretty happy after a game when you went there. The price, you probably noticed when you saw your credit card bill or your ATM bill the next day, the prices were dirt cheap.
Yeah.
It never caught up to the times, and that eventually it did, and it closed. But it was like you could go in there and have a steak tip meal, a couple beers, maybe a nice whiskey to top it off, and you drop like $30. And this was only like, I don't know, 10 years ago. It was great. So yeah, it was a great
Different
place.
times. Living in a
Rest in
different
peace,
time.
Porter's Pub. But Brendan, as we were just saying, Carter Verhaeghe,
Unreal.
clutch. He's a clutch player, man. And George, I want to know, in the eyes of Panthers fans, how do they view him? Do they view him as the Mr. He's almost like, I mean, we only see him break the Bruins' hearts in the playoffs, but
yeah.
I mean, how clutch do Panthers fans look at him?
Oh, Verhaeghe is absolutely clutch. And you talk to Paul Maurice about him, and he's like, listen, they don't like him when on power plays and stuff because he's so good in space that he creates his own space. Like Paul's like, I'd rather have 10 on 10. If I got 10 on 10, I got Verhaeghe in there because he just creates whatever, he's just, he finds space. You talk about, in the short history of the Panthers. I mean, he leads the franchise in game-winning playoff goal. I mean, he's been fantastic ever since he got here. Last year was a little slow for Carter Verhaeghe. He got the big 8-year contract with Florida on opening night. Kind of had a rough season offensively, but as soon as the playoffs started, he was right on.
That switch.
It was playoff Verhaeghe all over again. And then tonight you look at him. He said after the game he didn't even know the puck went in.
Yeah,
because
why
it went off the post and off.
Yeah. Yeah, did you guys see the look on his face when he was on the bench?
Yeah,
and he's just like, "I'll
how'd
take
that
that.
happen?
No
Yeah.
problem. I'll take that." But to the demise.
Poor Peak. That sucks.
Yeah, and he's such a good kid too. And
Had
he's
nothing
one of
to
those.
do with nothing to do with nothing. He
Yeah,
was
it just
8 feet out. I mean, it was
No, as we were looking, guys. I mean, Brendan, I think you asked who was on the ice as we were getting ready to come on here, and immediately, of course, 71 Victor Arvidsson, I guess he did some other good things in the game. I didn't notice, but didn't get a minus for that. But I mean, it's like this team, Brendan, right now, right? They're just, are they not? They're in every game, but they're not. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, did you guys? I never felt like they're going to win the game. Even when they came back in the third period, guys, I never felt like the Bruins were going to win this game. Whereas in the past, you would kind of say, okay, they got the momentum now. I didn't feel like it. It was almost like, yeah, great. They'll make it competitive, and that's the end of it.
But give credit where credit's due. No, the Florida Panthers do not. The Panthers don't give up 3 goals in the third ever to anybody.
Yeah.
So.
But how much of that, George, is injuries right now?
Well, obviously, having Barkov out certainly is huge in that regard. Matthew Tkachuk brings his own style of play. But when it comes to, but I'm just talking about even the season where Florida just snapped a 4-game losing streak. Florida's not giving up a lot of goals, and Boston was able to get 3 under pressure. Florida has the turnover that leads to the first goal. They can't clear the puck out. Middlestat gets it. Boom. 2-1. They tie it on the power play. Desperation to get goal number 3, but the Panthers just do not have breakdowns like that. And so, hey, give it to the Bruins. I mean, they were able to score 3 goals on Bob and the Panthers when it mattered. And then Florida gets a fluke, because who knows? Who knows what happens if this
in those moments, just the Bruins' lack of skill, especially after that tying goal. I mean, even the sequence before that last rush, which you can't give up.
Right.
The puck comes out to Kastelik, and he almost like stumbles over it when they had a shot, chance to get another opportunity on Bob, maybe win the game there, and he almost kind of fumbles the puck and kind of falls down, and it goes back the other way. They get it back in. They miss that opportunity, and then they give up that rush where Verhaeghe has all that space. Like you can't let that happen. In a tie game inside of a minute to go. And
Verhaeghe had the entire slot to himself to unleash, and again hits the cage. I mean, that very well could have been a clean goal for Verhaeghe. It wasn't, but
yeah, and I mean, and you said it, Jimmy. I mean, look, Middlestat was better, obviously, than he was the other night. But in that situation, and we're all pro Marco Sturm, but you cannot have 2 defensive liabilities in Arvidsson and Middlestat on the ice in that situation against a team like Florida.
But Brendan, but what does he have? What does he have to choose from? That's the problem, right? I mean, I guess he does have a lot of bottom 6 guys to choose from. So good point by you. But I mean,
where's Corrali? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, it's Matt, like, okay, yeah. If you got an offensive zone face off and you want to put those guys off to get Pasta, Blow, and Geeky and Elias, fine. But coming back the other way, like that, in crunch time, I mean, you got to get a point out of that game.
Yeah. So here's what I want to ask, and Brendan, we'll get to like the Bruins stuff once we.
Yeah. Definitely, let's talk to George about the Panthers.
Yeah. But I mean, in the Panthers respect, like George, you've seen Paul Maurice now since he's been there, and as Brendan's just saying, when he can sense blood in the water, right?
Yeah.
I think he's one of the best at that. I've seen it so many times where he's either losing or ahead, and he knows the guys to put out there. He knows the formations to put out there. he's just got this really, and obviously he's been in the game for so long, but he's just got this really knack to know the matchups he needs.
Yeah, no, Paul Maurice has been really good with that. I mean, he's very good at setting up the lines as well. But he had three guys out there that really haven't done a whole lot offensively for Florida, and in that final sequence in Verhaeghe, Bennett, and Reinhart. Giving them the chance, because those guys have to score for Florida. They have to bring it. And, so far this season, they haven't. And today, you get a Carter Verhaeghe goal. I believe that's his second of the season. Hold on. I think you got one in the first game of the season. That's his second goal of the season. So, Florida needs a lot more from the Verhaeghe. I think Bennett has one. Reinhart has two. So, and we're in game 8. So the Panthers are not getting a whole lot of scoring from their big guns, but you've got Eetu Luostarinen gets one today, and Florida's getting goals. Anton Lundell. I think Brad Marchand leads the Panthers in scoring. So, nobody would have thought that coming into the season, at his age and, that kind of thing. So, yeah, but to your point, Paul Maurice is very good at reading the moment and seeing what's on the ice and who to throw out there, and giving his big guns a chance to be the big guns. And Carter Verhaeghe, it pays off.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like that he gives his big guns a chance, right? Like you just said, a lot of those guys are struggling. A lot of those guys haven't been themselves. But he looks at this moment and he says, "This is, it's still early enough in the season. Obviously, he wants the 2 points, but he looks at it like there's enough not at risk to give these guys a chance to have a moment where they can build that confidence and get back to where they need." Right?
He also knows. Well, he also knows it's gonna. It's eventually coming. Eventually, it's gonna come. So why not now? Yeah. I thought those guys had a good game tonight. I think we saw Sam Bennett got robbed of a chance by Swayman. Reinhart, you noticed a few times around the net. Yeah. So they were getting their opportunities. And that's really all Paul, any coach is going to say that. As long as that's when you start worrying, when they're not getting there, so these guys are getting their chances. It just hasn't been going for them. This is the last game of a 5-game road trip for Florida. Their first road win of the year. So we'll see where it goes from here. Now they got a 4-game homestand with some time off. They really haven't had any time off. They've been playing every other day since opening night. Boston has as well. I mean, Boston's played the same amount of games as Florida, and Florida started a couple days earlier. So we'll just see where it goes from here.
Yeah, the Bruins need to practice something fierce.
You need practice days. I mean,
every team.
Florida finally got one yesterday while Boston's flying home from Utah.
Yeah.
And I think that's beneficial. I mean, you just need to get those in. Now, Florida tomorrow will be flying home, and then they got to play the Penguins, but they'll get some practice time in here. So will Boston, and especially for a first-year coach with a youngish team. Yeah. That'll be very good for Sturm to get in there and just, start working through some of the stuff.
That's a great point by you, Brendan. I didn't even think about that. Like,
George, obviously you're around this team, the Panther team, 3 Stanley Cup finals, back-to-back cups. Yeah. We did our season preview show. I talked, it's kind of one of those things like the Brady era Patriots and whatnot, the Jordan era Bulls. It's kind of like the Panthers are the field. And even with the injury to Barkov and Tkachuk being out, is the mentality of this team just, hey guys, let's just get in, and then we know we can kind of flip the switch? Is that kind of the thinking?
I think it's in the back of their head. I think Paul Maurice has been trying to nip that in the bud, since Barkov went out. Because, they look at the Atlantic Division, how tough it is. It's no, the Panthers last year knew they were going to be in the top 3. Ottawa wasn't going to catch them. They knew where they were. They schlepped off the entire month of March. I think you guys saw Florida when they came in, and it was like, 3 guys from the AHL were called up, and they played a lot of games like that where they just were like, whatever, we're not chasing it. It doesn't matter. But I think at this point, they know they've got their work cut out for them, because the Atlantic Division is tough. You see some improvement in some of those Metro teams. Florida would like to be one of the top 3 teams in the Atlantic. I mean, I don't think they want it, but they just, as long as they get in, but they know with those injuries, those are some tough ones to overcome, especially the
Don't
Barkov.
forget Kulikov too.
And then you got Cooley, and
that is not.
He was a great bottom 3 guy,
Yeah.
pairing guy that you put with Petrie, and so we'll see. But it's still in the back of their mind because you see it. You saw it Saturday in Buffalo. They were just like, Saturday, it's 1:00. We're in Buffalo. You know, you can just tell with this team. But they
Get
are
some
up
wings from the plane, from the anchor, and head home.
Yeah, just get us out of here. We're going to Boston as soon as this game is over. Let's go. We got the wings and pizza on the flight.
And Marshy's taking us out in the North End when we get to Boston. That's what's going on.
Marsh taking us out tonight. It's all going to be good. But listen, that's how teams of this. That's how you do it. You know, you don't. Yeah. You hope not to make that, but then so I don't know. Look at the Panthers in 23 when they could not afford to lose, and then they get Boston in the first round, and we saw what happened there. So I don't know.
You never know. Go ahead, Brendan. Do you want?
George, so, obviously this is the Bruins Vibes podcast, and, you know the league as good as anybody. Jimmy and I think it's going to be a long year. Some of our compatriots in the media kind of disagree. What's your assessment of this Bruins team? Jimmy and I think they're heading for the lottery. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think they are. I mean, I just, based on what they've lost over the past couple of years, but there's still pieces there. I mean, it's obvious that you're not in a full rebuild, right? It looks like a little bit of what Pittsburgh's been doing. You've got the goalie in Swayman, you've got Pasta, you've got those guys. But yeah, I mean, the Atlantic is just so tough. Do you see Boston right now better than any of the top 3? And in the top 3, I'm going back to last year: Toronto, Tampa, Florida. They're not
better than Detroit right now.
They're not right now. They're not better than Detroit.
Yeah.
I don't know about Ottawa right now because but I think Ottawa's with a healthy Brady Tkachuk. Right. Ottawa's. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. You've got to kind of turn it over at some point. Right. But we'll see. You've got a first-year coach again who knows the assignment. He's trying to get these kids better. They're going to be working some guys in. But lottery, worst in the league or something like that. No. I don't think that. Right. But I don't see them in the top 8 in the East.
Sure. They could definitely take a punch, which they couldn't. Last year that game would have been 5-0.
Yeah.
6-1.
Yeah. I agree, Brendan. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But so they definitely could do that. They definitely know. They definitely have heart. They definitely have great.
Yeah, they're scrappy. You saw they were after the trade deadline last year.
Yeah.
They were a tough team to play last year at the end of the year when everything when all the stuff was gone when Marchie was traded and all that stuff. They were a tough team to play last year at the end of the year, and that I think maybe bleeds into this new season.
And I think their coach feeds some of that too. And Marco was always a scrappy player, right? That was his trademark. I agree with that. I want to get into Brad Marchand in a second, but quickly, I just want to ask you, right, to put yourself in this. So Florida's on a run right now, right? But every team will go on a run, and you get to a certain point, like we're just talking about with the Bruins right now, where, okay, now it's time to kind of suck for a few years, and that happens, and you rebuild, you retool, whatever the hell you want to call it. Do you think, and I think the Bruins are part of this, but do you think that a lot of teams in the NHL really struggle with that reality when it hits, George? And, obviously they want to make that playoff gate and owners can interfere, but are there enough teams right now that are able to face that reality? I look at Montreal right now.
Yeah.
Like they just knew, they said, that's it. And they're in arguably the toughest market in the NHL.
But they were honest with their fan base, weren't they?
Yes.
They were honest.
So do you not?
Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Flyer fans were like,
what?
I'm not going to enjoy this. Neither Montreal, we're not going to enjoy it, kids.
Yeah.
Enjoy the wins when they come, and Go ahead.
Agree with me? I know we're not in the shoes of these GMs or these president of hockey operations or even these owners. And I get it. I get how much money has to play with this. But do you think that more teams, for the overall, health of their franchise, need to accept that moment when it comes?
Well, for sure, if you believe that it's time to do it. Now, a lot of these guys don't believe that it's time to
But they're in
overturn it.
denial. Most of the time, they're in denial.
Well, that's very well true, but a
Yeah.
lot of times they're saying to themselves, "I think with a couple additions here or there, we can rebuild this thing on the fly." You've seen, hey, let's look
You
at the,
see the Capitals, right?
yeah, look at the yeah, some teams, but yeah, the Capitals. We were like a couple years ago, like, what's going on there? And then now look at them now. Look at Florida. When
Yeah.
Bill Zito takes over in 2020, there's only 4 guys left from that team. He turned over the entire roster, and they got better every single year. There was,
Right.
obviously he built around Sergei Bobrovsky, Sasha Barkov, Aaron Ekblad, those guys. But he got rid of some pretty big names, some guys that you would say, hey, that's a pretty good player. Mackenzie
Yep.
Weegar, pretty damn good defenseman. He's gone. That kind of thing. Traded away all the draft. I'm just saying.
Maybe one of the best.
Huberdeau, Jonathan Huberdeau is the franchise leader in scoring.
Yeah.
So some teams you can kind of rebuild on the fly or work around things on the fly. But yeah, like you said, but again, look at Montreal. They were honest with their fan base. They said that it's going to be painful. And they were like, thank you. Okay, we'll enjoy the wins when they come. On a Saturday night, they're in last place, but they beat Toronto and they partied like it was Game 7, right or wrong?
Exactly.
They enjoyed the wins when they came. And now look at Montreal. They've got it.
Brendan's been saying the same thing. Yeah, like you said. Brendan said to me today, why can't Bruins fans understand that this is Christmas right now? They're a competitive team, but they're gonna, in standings wise, points wise, they're gonna suck. And that's not a bad thing right now, considering that you have a draft coming up. And I'm not just talking about Gavin McKenna. You have a draft coming up where a lot of veteran amateur scouts I talked to, George and Brendan, consider this one of the best potentially since 2003, which is considered by many to be one of the best, if not the best. So it's like, there's nothing wrong with that, but yet you see so many teams that refuse to just admit it. And I get it.
It is the NHL though, and tickets still kind of run the roost, and you don't want to,
because they're not the NBA, the NFL.
Right. You still need to sell tickets in the NHL to offset, but maybe not in Boston. Boston makes good money off their media rights and all that kind of stuff, but you still need to sell tickets. You still need to sell those luxury boxes. And if you say we're in an all-out fire sale or whatever, and Boston's not in that spot right now, but yeah, are they a playoff team? No, but can they be better in 2-3 years? Yeah, we'll see.
All right,
Jimmy,
Brad.
you said the magic word, right? You've always, before we let George go.
Well, no, I want to ask you about Marchand before we go.
Scouting and development. We'll get to Marchand, but scouting and development. Obviously, Zito and his staff, they have the best scouts in the league, clearly.
And no, Jimmy, and if you're just talking about amateur scouting, I haven't, we don't even have to worry about that. I don't even think they've got to pick till the 4th round this year. So they're, but they're finding Uvis Balinskis,
Yeah, but that's the thing.
And they're finding him in they're finding him in the Czech league.
Diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, they're finding players to supplement what they're not getting in the draft.
Yeah. All right. I want to, guys, let's get to Marchand. And credit to both teams for being able to actually give us an exciting game in light of that, because that was obviously the highlight in the moment. And Brad, to me, and I know you've covered him over the years, George, as an opponent, but I had the luxury of covering him since he came in the league. And he went from this little, I don't know any way to put it, this little punk who thought, like, I'll just do whatever the hell I want. I'm in the NHL, or I'm about to be in the NHL. And, there's a lot of things I know about Brad Marchand that I can't say here that he did early in his career. And they're all like nothing that, I didn't do, or a lot of young kids don't do, right? Especially ones with a lot of money in their pocket. But he went from that to a true pro, all-star, Bruins legend, Stanley Cup winner, arguably maybe potentially a Hall of Famer, on the ice, to a class act off it, and a guy that genuinely, we see a lot of people, George. Brendan hasn't really been in. Brendan used to work covering the Red Wings a bit, but he hasn't been in it for a while. But I mean, the last, we see a lot of people, George. Yeah, they got great personalities, but when you come to find out about it, sometimes they're frauds, right? Like it's
Yeah,
just
for sure.
it is,
Yeah, there's
right,
definitely a facade there, and for some of these guys,
right. That's not Brad Marchand,
right.
and
I don't. Yeah,
I tweeted something tonight, and there's just a lot of stuff's happened. I lost one of my best friends a week ago, and one of the greatest memories I have, he battled brain cancer. He beat it 3 times, 4th time cancer won. But during the second time where he was battling, I was talking to Patrice Bergeron after a game, and I just had him one-on-one by chance. And, I got a text as I'm talking to him saying, Jeff's cancer's back.
Mm.
And, my fate, he could tell. He knew, right? Patrice, he's just such a class act. He read me right away. What's wrong? And I told him, he said, anything you need, Murph, I got you. And so he set up a meet and greet with Jeff, his wife, and his 2 sons with the Bruins after a practice at Warrior Arena. And it was amazing. Patrice, that's just Patrice Bergeron. We all know what a class act he is. But, Brad Marchand, given his reputation on the ice as the rat and all the things he does and all the stuff the reputation he's had over the years, you may not think of him as being like Patrice, but he learned from him. He learned from Mark Recchi. And I'll tell you that one moment, and I tweeted about it tonight. When he came out, the kids lit up, and he was joking with them, playing with them, and he brought so many things that he could sign for them. And then he was just ribbing me like he ribs everybody, right?
Yeah.
And it was one of those moments that you always remember. And, honestly, in the last conversation I had with my friend, that moment came up. And he said, you tell Marshy if you ever see him again, you tell him what that meant to me. And so when I saw that, it all hit home. I almost lost it, guys. I won't lie.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a reflection of the ovation he got, the reception from the team, his fans, and the Panthers players he's with now, his teammates now, just showed me how much that guy's grown. I mean, out of all the players I've covered, I've never seen anyone change as much as him and take the advice of veteran players like a Recchi, a Bergeron, a Chara, what have you, and really build it to become himself. And I don't know what you've experienced so far from him, George, but do you see any of that?
Well, first off, condolences to you and to Mark's to Jeff's family. But you see people, be brought into the locker rooms and stuff, and there's guys that, Sergei Bobrovsky is one. He's always making sure he's there in the room to greet these folks. Brad Marchand, since he's been here, I've seen him in the locker room when people get brought in, with their kids, that kind of thing. And you know what? We don't see this stuff anymore. It's so behind the scenes, and that's what the players want. They want it that way. They want it.
Yeah,
They don't want to advertise it. Ed Belfour, he did so much work with Make-A-Wish that nobody knew about. And one day I went, the one year he was playing for the Panthers, nobody even remembers this, but I was like, hey man, I'd like to just, talk to you a little bit. No, don't mention, George, don't mention it. Do not mention it. And guys like that, they recognize a bigger thing, right? They recognize that this game has brought them to a point to where they can affect someone else's life in a positive light. Heard an interview with Brad. I don't know if it was yesterday at the Garden or not, or if he was telling Sportsnet or something.
Yeah, it was. It was a scrum. Yep.
Yeah, where he said, like somebody's, when he was a kid or whatever, was like it was a jerk, and he was like, I hated that guy forever.
It's true.
And you see Brad Martin, you hear people like at the whole Dairy Queen thing. He's in line at Dairy Queen, and everybody's, hey, look what it is. So, he does seem to be a guy that is enjoying the moment now. He says he is smelling the roses, whatever, enjoying it. Yeah, I mean, let's go back to 2010, and I tell you that Brad Marchand is going to be crying on the bench. What would you think then? 15 years, 50, you'd say, no way, not this guy.
No.
He's balling on the bench, and it was beautiful. And
he didn't even try to hold
the
it
cheers
back.
got louder for it, right?
Yeah.
That was true emotion. That's not something you could fake.
No, it was great.
No.
B, you have anything to add to?
No, I mean, just what a cool moment. And like I said, it goes to show, I mean, we've all been around the game. You guys obviously longer than I have, but hockey players are definitely the most genuine athletes far and away. Just real, just good dudes, most of them. You know what I mean? And that it's a cool thing to hear those kind of stories, and not at all surprising.
And none of them really want the attention. Now there is some stuff that we're able to Sam Bennett with the pet adoptions. That's helping, him doing that is getting the word out that pets need to that's but to touch someone individually,
sure,
you don't want that broadcast out there. But they all most of them, and some of the guys that's not their thing.
Yeah.
But you always hear about it at Christmas when the guys go to the hospitals, that it affects them more than it affects the people that they're visiting. And then you've got guys like Sergei Bobrovsky, who nobody knows. He goes to these rehab places and talks to the folks there once a month. But it's no fanfare, no cameras, no video,
awesome.
None of that.
Wow. Yeah. You bring up the Christmas stuff. It's funny because like today, about, I don't know, it's like 2 hours before the game, I'm on the Bruins, public relations email list, and we got the thing about the Halloween thing they do. And Marchand was always the leader
front
of that.
and center.
Yeah. Him and Brandon Carlo, both gone now. And it was, and then it was fitting that it came out today when he was there. It's something you said there before we let you go, George. Something you said there too about and you did too, Brendan, about the hockey players not wanting it to be so public, right? Just they do it. They're not doing it for attention. They're not doing it because they're supposed to. They're doing it because they feel it, and that's it. And they just want it to stay that way. And it was interesting. I was on a podcast the other day, and the host was saying to me, Jimmy, why can't the NHL get the personalities of hockey players out there? Because, and he agreed with us, they're one of the best to deal with. They're great. They're genuine. They're fun. But why doesn't the NHL advertise that more? And that's exactly what I said. I said, I think it's because a lot of these guys are just so humble. The backgrounds they come from,
they don't want it.
They don't want that all over social, and while I think it would be great, it would help the game. A big part of me respects that so much.
They also come from, if you don't mind, hockey's a different sport because the fourth line winger is just as important as your top line center in the way hockey coaches work.
Yeah.
And you're taught that. So you're not going to have this explosive personality on a hockey team if it's going to affect, the second, third, the seventh defenseman is as important as your, that kind of thing. And I think that's part of it. But we're starting to see more. We're starting to see it with Matthew Tkachuk. Brad Marchand has been doing it for years.
It's great.
Outlandish stuff. I mean, you saw the commercials for ESPN. It was all Marchand in the Boston, licking people and doing all the things he did. So you're starting to see some of it, and they're trying. But I mean, come on, they're the NHL with the prime, they're trying to get it out there. The problem is they don't have the money that the NBA does or the NFL does, and it's constant. It's a constant bombardment of NBA, NFL. Now we're getting college football. We're getting the Warby Parker commercials with the Manning kid.
NIL money.
I don't know about you guys. I don't know what your screen was showing. I had split college football and Bruins Panthers pretty much the whole game almost. Yeah. And it's like a game that nobody cares. I'm a huge college football fan, but I'm sorry, I didn't care about that game tonight. Like
you talking about FIU?
Yeah, sorry, no offense.
The other Panthers?
I'm sorry, buddy. I love you,
Panthers,
but
how did I forgot that I forgot FIU. I'm an FIU grad. I didn't even
I
how'd
apologize.
FIU do?
Like the national audience
Good
is
job,
not.
George.
Yeah,
That was on ESPN. But why was that? Why was you getting a split screen? It was on ESPN2. Were you watching?
because I'm watching it on ESPN Plus.
Okay, well, you don't have to watch it with a split
No,
screen.
I did.
You
There was
gotta-
no other option out to
Why
get
didn't
out
you
of
use FUBU?
that. Good point.
Okay, the game was on ESPN.
Yeah,
that's
The
where I
FIU game was
I
on
know.
FIU. Yeah,
I don't go through cable though. I'm all like, I'm all.
Yeah. Streaming all the
on
way,
there.
brother.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, let's not blame ESPN for
All
this.
right, my
All
bad.
right,
My
let's
bad.
not let
I
any secrets out of the
apologize.
way.
This is
but
kind of on you.
I mean, that was Murph's fault. I'll take the
Okay.
heat.
It was on FUBU, Jimmy. I watched.
He was getting that 66 East stream or something. Let's not.
Oh my god, it's hilarious, guys. I'm like, what is up with this? Like, why did it keep going to this game?
Because you're getting the stream from Russia, man. Come on.
Good say, George. Listen, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate
Hey,
it.
it's good
George.
seeing you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
Well,
awesome.
have to have you back on
I
again,
wish
George.
I could have come. I was planning on coming up, and there's too much stuff going on down
It's
here.
all right. Yeah, we'll get together. Actually, I'm going to come down your way because actually, my aforementioned friend that passed, one of our good mutual friends, lives down your way now, and he's got he's done really well for himself. He works at a golf course where Marchand golfs. I won't name it, and he's
in
doing well for
Parkland?
himself. And he's inviting me down. I'm not
Cool.
saying anything, and he's invited me down to come down. So when I come down there, I'll ring you up. All right.
Yeah, sounds great, man.
All right,
Thanks for joining
George
us, George.
Richards from Florida
Appreciate
Hockey
it,
Now. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys. Good seeing you.
Cheers. We don't have that many questions, but let's go over there right now. Maybe they load up. What do we got here, guys?
There he is.
Ethan Russell.
55-12.
Ethan was killing it on the eye test today. I got to tell you, Brendan, killing it with the questions.
Yeah. Any reason you think Minton only played 7 minutes, or was it just a matchup thing? Just matchups.
Yeah, and I think just nurturing a young player new in the league, a young kid making his way. I know fans want to see those young kids blossom, want to see them get the time. We saw it with Patra, Brendan, right? And everybody was freaking out when they sent him back down. I get it. I'm not. I swear to God, I'm not saying this to sound like some condescending reporter or something or somebody in hockey, but you got to understand, he's still a kid in terms of the NHL.
21 years old.
He's adjusting, man. So
and you talk about the blossom going off of somebody, and we said it on a recent episode. I mean, again, talk about beating the dead horse. Mason Lowry needs a car ride to Providence.
Right. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, it's just like, let guys, let them find their way. And if you feel like, hey, it's getting to be too much, I'm talking, if you're the coach or your management, it's
Right.
getting to be too much. I have no problem with that, right? Because I'm seeing this in the practices. I'm seeing this behind the scenes. And I'm telling you, like, there's a lot of things we can criticize the Boston Bruins for right now. But I actually think they're handling some of their young guys pretty good right now. And Minton's one of them.
Agreed. But Lowry's not. You're getting to a point where he might start losing his confidence.
Okay, true enough, Brendan. But like, do you not think that each kid's different, right? Like,
Sure. But,
so maybe
it's to the point
Lowry,
where-
you know what I mean? Like, maybe they think, hey, let this kid let's toughen him up and let him get beat up. Let's let him cough the puck up constantly and feel like he ruined a play there. Maybe that's what they think he needs. I don't know.
Well, two of the goals he was absolutely manhandled on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't.
No,
just
I'm
can't
with.
have-
But don't get me wrong. I think he does need more time. I think more time, anytime. I think he needs to go back down.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously we talked about before the game. The Hampus Lindholm thing has got to be concerning if you're a Bruins fan. He comes back for one game in Colorado. Okay, you thought like, all right, he's not going to play in the back-to-back. Not good that he wasn't out there tonight.
Well,
and I think
no, I'm with you, Brendan, but it's October 21st.
right.
So let's rest him now. We're going to, like if you're the Bruins, you're saying, okay, he's not 100%. If he's not 100% in March and we're still in it, then yeah, we're playing him. But he's not 100% on October 21st. I don't take it like, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with Hampus Lindholm right now, and I get where you're coming from. I get the skepticism that maybe it's a lot more serious than we think. Very well could be. But let's see what happens. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I just go by what taught me, Obi-Wan, in that when that injury first happened,
Mm.
we found out what it was. You're like, that's a really tough injury to come back from. And the fact that it was quiet all summer, and then it was like, okay,
Well,
he's
you're
skating
right.
over in Sweden, and then okay, he had a full camp, and then a couple games, boom, already out.
I'm just trying to give the Bruins fans some hope here. That's all, buddy.
Oh, but you're the king of crushing hope. Come on, Jimmy.
No, I
You're the
know.
hope crusher.
I know. I am. I'm reality. I'm reality. That's what I am. All right. What else we
So
got? Anything else?
yeah, let's go through some questions here.
Oh, we got some comments, I think. Not exactly questions. Anything else, Shane? Like comments or questions that we can pull up? There we go. Okay. Yep. I'll let Brendan take this one. That's all you need to say there,
At Ethan
Ethan.
Russell 55-12. Let's hope it's not a big injury because I'm getting more and more mad every time I see McAvoy on the power play. Yeah, the worst thing ever. He plays tentative. He's actually starting now to, in my opinion, devalue himself as a hockey player with how bad he looks on the power play. Now they got lucky. They won the draw where Pasta did the snipe and Lindholm tipped it in. Great sequence. They kept it in because it was just bang, bang. Anytime that the puck moves around and he's at the point, he's so shaky. He looks at his feet. He almost doesn't. He's not playing. He's almost robotic on the power play. And
Yeah.
it's funny, Jimmy, going down, and we might have to just do another show that's not after a game because there's so many topics out in the Bruins ether right now that we could cover. And we're short on time. Just going to throw this at you. So, watching the Avalanche Bruins game the other night, and it slipped out that Brent Burns, defenseman, long time, over 1,500 games, warrior, NHL warrior. He used to be a forward. Would it be asinine for the Bruins to do the opposite and make Charlie McAvoy a forward?
Not at all. I think it's a great idea. Not permanently, situationally. Situationally, like in certain situations within a game or maybe game to game in matchups. I think it's a great idea, Brendan. I think that's honestly, and you do come
Well,
up with
couldn't he
good
be?
ideas.
Isn't he
I
your?
know I
Wouldn't he
don't
be your
credit
second
you
best
enough.
right wing right now?
I don't credit you enough because you do come up with good ideas, but that is maybe one of the best ideas I've ever heard out of you.
Thanks. Well,
You know?
again, I'm trying to do what you taught me, boss man. Listen to these guys like Brick. Brick was all over that Saturday
But
night,
you know what?
and
You
it's
were
like,
that yeah, but that's Brendan and I have this thing. Can I tell him about how we text each other? Is that
sure,
all right?
two
Am I being
identities.
honest? So, sometimes we miss things and in anything, whether you're dealing with a woman or a man that you're interested in, and, things get misconstrued or, you're dealing with your wife, you're dealing with your husband, things get misconstrued in text. Well, things get misconstrued sometimes with Brendan and I, where Brendan will be talking as Brendan the fan versus Brendan the educated co-host, which I do consider you. All right.
Yeah.
So, and so now we distinguish it and he'll give me a heads up. This is me just knee jerk reaction being Brendan the fan. And he'll say something. I'll go, yeah, well, yeah, that's definitely you, Brendan the fan. That I think in text would have come off as Brendan the fan, but it actually came off as a genius idea as Brendan the co-host. Like, honestly, I didn't even think of that. I think that's one of the best analogies I've ever heard about how the Bruins need to utilize Charlie McAvoy. Make him a forward in a certain situation. Because what have I always said? I think he's better as that rover. I think he's better as that guy that's pinching or can come back to the blue line on the power play and do that. What is Brent Burns? That is his trademark. That's why he was awesome at both positions. That's a great idea, Brendan.
Well, I mean, you think like again, look, the Arvidsson experience has been an epic fail through 9 games. You called it off the hop when the trade happened. Eventually, they're probably just going to have to cut him if it doesn't improve, waive him. But like, with Lindholm, assuming Lindholm comes back this week, fine, right? Like, why not put McAvoy as the right wing on the PP2 instead of
Yeah, even if it's on special teams.
Arvidsson?
You don't even have to switch his position 5-on-5.
Right.
It's just it's a special teams. I love it. I love it. And as we're saying this, I wish that this person was tuning in with us. I don't know if he is, and he's just responding on Twitter. I got this guy right now, Brennan. As we're saying this, is it Bruins season yet? Yes, 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 it is. His name is @BigSpoon615 on Twitter, and I'll never call it X. The PP looks so bad. I despise the skate to the middle ice with steam drop pass to own D zone, kill all momentum play, almost as much as the stand on the blue line and let Pasta charge through. And I hope he makes it. McAvoy is horrendous. Can we not control the puck at all? So there you go.
Yeah.
And
And
this
as
is
you've
this is what
already
I get
said,
from Brendan, the fan, text wise every night. I just want everyone to know that. And he has nothing against Charlie McAvoy. I want to make it clear.
like him as a guy. I mean, but here's the other thing too. And you have to talk about the Bruins and their scouting and their coaching. And look, he butted heads with Bruce Cassidy on the way out, and Cassidy was too tough, is what we all heard. But I don't know, man. Like, to me, and I know he had a bad injury from the Four Nations, but to me, Charlie McAvoy's regressed as a player from when he first came in the league. I don't know. You know,
Okay.
I just
I don't necessarily agree with that because I think if he hadn't gotten hurt at the Four Nations, he would have parlayed probably the best game I've ever seen him play as a hockey player, except unfortunately for Bruins fans, it was in Team USA's jersey and not the Bruins on that
well, the
Saturday
second
night.
was the anniversary game against the Canadians. That was right up there.
That was great, yeah. But I mean, the Four Nations game in Montreal.
Right.
Can we also except? Well, I shouldn't say that. His World Junior games for USA in Montreal were also good. Something about him playing in the Bell Center in big games. But I agree with that. But we do agree, Brendan. He's a top 2 defenseman on a contender. But the Bruins try to make him things he's not. You say top 4, okay, all right, very good argument. I'm not gonna say that's wrong. But all I'm saying is, you mentioned something there, and we talked about this, and you had an interesting observation that I agreed with today about how they're handling Charlie McAvoy and Jeremy Swayman when they talk to the media versus how they handle David Pastrnak when each of them has a bad game. Do you want to maybe tell our listeners and viewers?
Yeah. So my point was, and it was funny. So I'm on the back end of a cold. I was laid up all weekend with a brutal cold. So I was
Me
playing
too, man.
hurt watching those games. Finally started to turn the corner yesterday. But anyway, it didn't dawn on me till the next morning that Marco Sturm had benched the top line of Lindholm, Pasta, and Geeky for like the last 15 minutes of the third period Saturday night. Then he does the post game, and you send me text. We read the post game notes saying that he thought Swayman.
By the way,
Was
the
there?
score of that game, you should say.
Yeah.
No, Matt, I'm saying you should say the score of that game before I know what you're about to say.
Oh, it was 5. What was the
No,
final?
6-5. 6-5 Colorado.
Oh, yeah. Or no, we're thinking of Vegas.
Oh, okay. Vegas. Sorry.
So yeah, right. We're crossing over, but I know what you're getting at. So we're going back down to the Vegas game. That's right. We're crossing over. In that Vegas game, the 6-5 Vegas game, he said Swayman was their best player. Which, come on, Marco. Like, he let it. I mean, he made some unbelievable saves for a goalie that makes, what he makes a year. But he also let in some softies. He was not their best player that night. Okay. Then you get to the Colorado game, and look, the Bruins were outclassed. That whole road trip, even this Florida game, like we said, they're playing the varsity now, and look, they've lost 5 straight. Okay, so to bench your franchise player when it's not his fault. He's out there, and what ironically, the game before, when he made the save against Tampa, he was giving him his flowers of that he's our leader, he does everything. And then you turn around and you bench him 2 nights later after you kind of give Swayman undue praise and the educated, somewhat educated observer's opinion was very odd to me. And then you come to your point, you know, where's calling out McAvoy? He's not been good this year. And is he getting a free pass? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. He's the second highest paid Bruin, right? Behind Pasta. Where's some accountability? Or is he protected by the Bruin Illuminati on high, Cameron Neely and Donald Sweeney, that no, we're not going to dog Charlie and we're going to keep him on the power play no matter what because we say so. Can't hear you there, Jimmy.
I think Shane's saying something in the chat room. You might want to look at that. Yeah. In our studio.
Yeah. Also, yeah, right. And he didn't get to see. They decided that good call, Shane. No one's been awarded. Stern said he wasn't going to award anyone the captain. Call Pasta his leader after the Columbus Day game. Does everything for us. Made that great save. Kept us alive. 2 nights later, you're benching him.
And think about what George made a great point, right? I don't know if it was you that initiated or he said it and then you echoed it, but they were scrappy after the whole trade deadline cleansing of the lineup and the veterans and the core of the team. After they blew everything up, they were competitive still. And if you go back and check the stat sheet, there's one reason they were competitive, and it was number 88.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, I've covered that kid since he came into the league. Not once until last year in that stretch after the team was blown up and they were leaderless and rudderless. Okay. Did I ever see Pasta seize the moment as the leader to the management and the coach and the team and the media, publicly and behind the scenes? I have never seen him take the reins as he did there. He almost said, "It's on me now. I'll take this now. Marshy's gone. I'm taking this." And he never got credit, not from the idiots that are on the airwaves here in Boston, or from half the Bruins fans that are on social media that don't appreciate that he is absolutely the most skilled superstar that you have in this sports market right now. And you want to talk to me about Drake May right now? I know that's the hot thing right now. Yeah. Talk to me when Drake May tries to run again when he shouldn't and gets croaked and he's out for the season. So all I'm saying is,
I do like Drake, but you're right. He got lucky that he got out of that different game if he doesn't come out of that green tent on Sunday. That was a close game at that point.
Somebody needs to pull him aside and say, "Dude, take the sack, throw it incomplete. You don't always have to run it. We respect your guts. Don't always run it." But all I'm saying is Pasta is so underappreciated by the team, the fan base, and the media here. And as you're saying right now, I mean, this is your belief, right? You believe he should have the C on his jersey, right, Brendan?
100%.
Okay. I agree with you. 100%. And I mean, what do you think that says about his future here in Boston, Brendan, that he doesn't have that C?
You could speculate all you want, but maybe there's some twisted logic up from those aforementioned leadership that they might trade him.
You think they trade Pasta?
It'd be idiotic. And I know, again, there's jabronis out there that, Pasta's soft. And again, you watch the guy play. He's anything but soft now.
Yeah.
He's actually become for a guy that's 6 foot, 200 pounds, is actually a true power forward. He takes the body more than most guys with that skill do. I mean, yeah, to the eighth game of the season to let him get benched when how many points does he have already this year? How many points did he have tonight? Yeah, he had two apples tonight. So, you know, the guy's a machine. He's a top 10 player in the league, probably closer to top 5. Just odd. But, and again, we need a whole other show just to kind of cover all these topics of a post-game show. But I don't think any knowledgeable Bruins fan can believe a single word that comes out of that organization right now. It's because they're you talked about it with George. They're telling you what you think you want to hear. The place is sold out every night. They got the sick logo, the great black and gold colors, 100-year anniversary, all this stuff. Bruins are cool. The brand is cool. But the product that they're putting on the ice, they're telling you it's supposed to be good, but it ain't that good. And you're going to kind of dog the one thing that you have. I mean, without Lindholm, campus, that is,
Yep.
it's a night and day difference when he's not on the ice. And you see it against a quality opponent like Florida.
All right. So based on what you're saying, Brendan, do you think they're greasing the skids to trade Pasta?
I think there's probably a thought. I don't think they're greasing the skids yet, but I think they're leaving that
Well,
option.
he's not untouchable. To you, he is. But do you think to Bruins management?
Great way to word it. Great way to word it. I don't think they're calling people up saying, "Hey, what could we get for Pasta?" But I think if someone knocked their socks off, they'd probably trade him. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. And I will be, and I live 800 miles away. I will be in town with the torch and the pitchfork. Okay. There's only like 4 guys in the league that you could possibly trade that man for, in my opinion.
And who are they?
Leon Draisaitl,
Connor McDavid,
Nathan McKinnon, maybe Braden Point.
Braden Point. Interesting.
But that's really it, man. Like,
I would go Kucherov before Point, but I agree with everything else.
Center. I was going center.
Oh, you're talking centers. Okay, you're looking at
just in general. But I was
because
if you're going to trade Pasta, you have to get number one center.
Yeah, if you're going to trade Pastrnak, you better get that center that you need. That's a good point. Didn't think of that.
But that's it. Like, I'm drawing the line there. Those 4. Maybe Martin Nashis-ish. I don't know.
No.
But you need other things
to go with it. People need to settle down about Martin Nashis.
I agree.
He's a great player. He's not David Pastrnak. He's not Mikko Rantanen. He's not. Yeah, he's not. He's a star in my eyes. He's not a superstar, if that makes sense.
Right.
I'm with you. I think it's something to watch. I think it's a great point by you, and I think Bruins fans should listen to what my awesome co-host is saying here right now. I think that's something to keep an eye on as we go forward.
And look, we in our crazy sports fandom, Boston sports fans, I mean, in college, I fired the Sox. I don't cheer for the Sox anymore. We won't get into that. But I am sure it won't be me because I'm evolved and I'm a dad. But like, there will be Bruins fans if they do trade him that throw out the laundry and divorce the team.
Yeah,
that's how. I mean, we talked about it last year.
Well, here's the thing that I hate that I know will happen, and I'm glad you brought this out to the forefront. This, it's something right now. It is that, and it's not just the Bruins. It's every Boston team, and I'm sure a lot of teams around every pro sports league. I hate how when a team wants to get rid of a guy, they start to smear him. And they feed narratives to the local media who put it out there and brainwash the fans. And
Right.
so when the trade comes and when they actually do it and they get hosed, as they did, and I don't care what draft pick led to Milan Lucic or this guy or that guy, as they did when Joe Thornton got traded or when Ray Bork got traded, they get hosed if and when they trade David Pastrnak, because they will. Because when you trade somebody of that caliber, it's almost impossible
If
to
they
get
trade him,
full
yeah.
value. They will cushion the blow, and that's what they
Sure.
do. And so I am warning all you Bruins fans watching this right now.
If it does happen.
If we get to that point, and we'll keep tabs on this, and we'll start to show you when it's starting to happen, and we'll point out articles. We'll point out the writer. We won't point out the broadcaster, but we will point out things that are starting to pave the way for that to happen, because I think Brendan's onto something. Don't believe the hype. Don't.
Well, again, on
Don't.
top of all the topics that we could have talked about tonight, Jimmy, and trying to get a post-game show in, I have a hell of a rant lined up for you after all this Marchand stuff. I mean, it's in there.
Yeah,
And
but dude, what did they do when Marchand got traded?
exactly the point.
Tried to paint
Right,
it like
right.
he wasn't being the guy that wanted to cooperate in the contract discussion.
Right, but the bottom line is, see, that's
Totally not the
so you're putting it on a T for me, bro. So if you think for 1 second, seeing that guy's reaction tonight, that he did not want to retire a Bruin,
then you're a moron. You're a
exactly.
moron. That's it. Sorry.
They could have got the deal done. That's just like Belichick getting rid of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Stupid.
And too many fans will buy into the narrative. Like, I'm sorry, just don't believe it, because it's coming. If they decide that they want to just really blow it up, Marchand was the first step. But if they want to really blow it up, it's clear it's not going to be McAvoy or Swayman, because they're coddling them right now when they have bad games. But even when Pastrnak is not the problem, they're calling him out or they're benching him. I'll urge people to go back and look at a time when Steve Casper benched Cam Neely and Adam Oates. Okay? Watch out for that, because it could be coming. And don't believe it that it's Pasta that wants out if and when this comes. I'm with Brendan on this. This is something to watch as this season goes on.
So the last thing about Marchand, and here's why. Why
We gotta get going.
NHL.
Shane's got to go to bed.
Yeah, me too. I gotta get up in the morning too, brother. Last thing about Marchand. Okay, the sticking point was term. Real quick, how long did they sign Tanner Jeannot for? 5 years?
Yes.
Okay. Let's tally the amount of goals. Marchand signed a 6-year deal with Florida. Jeannot, 5-year. I bet the amount of goals scored in that time, even if Marchand breaks down before the end of the contract, is still going to double what Jeannot scores. And I like Jeannot. He's
He's a great role player.
better than I thought.
You know what?
Right?
Jeannot is what they did to Marty Lapointe when they gave him that crazy contract when he came to Boston from
You've
Detroit.
referenced that before.
He's a third-line guy, man. There's nothing wrong with that. He is what he is, and he's a valuable player. This is not a knock on a player. But when you put that albatross of a contract on him, he's going to get murdered by the fans and the media.
But my point is, just like with Brady and the Pats, the type of freak athlete and how hard Marchand works at his craft. You can't tell me that this Bruins crappy, skilled Bruins team couldn't use Brad Marchand for the next 4 years.
I know.
Retool or not.
Well, I mean, I think no matter what they say in this, and we should finish it here.
It's all spinning.
It's all planned. Like, I mean, the reason they did this was they are in a rebuild.
Right.
That's it. And I don't care what anyone says. When you trade a guy like Brad Marchand, you're paving the way for a rebuild. And as Brendan just said, maybe Pasta's next. So we'll see.
All right. On that note, lots to cover up here. Lots of vibes to talk about here on the Sick Podcast Network.
My
why we're the
vibe,
sickest Bruins podcast.
is to go to bed. That's my vibe
Agreed.
right now.
It is time to go to bed.
All right.
Producer Shane, thank you. Jimmy, great stuff. Thanks to George Richards, Florida Hockey Now. Thanks to our loyal listeners. Tell your friends, get it out on social media.
Yeah, hit that like button.
Podcast
Hit
Network,
that
the sickest Bruins podcast. Right here, boys. Come on. Let's get it.
Let's do it.
I'm Brendan. He's Jimmy. Have a good night, everybody.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Bruins Vibes on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.